Critical Role has shaken things up in a very, very big way, as Matt Mercer will not be the Game Master for Campaign 4. Mercer has been leading the world of Critical Role for the past 10 years now. With 3 campaigns, several one-shots, 3 world books and a campaign book, Matt has been at the forefront of everything to do with Critical Role. But with Campaign 4, Matt will be stepping down as Dungeon Master, and taking his place will be veteran Dungeon Master and recurring Critical Role Dungeon Master, Brennan Lee Muligan. Now, having guest Dungeon Masters on isn't anything new for Critical Role. There's been Brennan Lee Muligan, Abria Iyengar, Abu Bakar Salim and Sam Riegel, who have all done canon Critical Role shows in the Exandria world, as well as many other guest DMs who've done random one-shots throughout the years, including each member of the cast. But what we're getting now is something brand new. This isn't a one-shot, it's not a mini-series, but a full-blown campaign that will most likely take several years to go through. This is something brand new for Critical Role. We're going to be getting several years of Brennan in the DM seat with Matt in the player seat, and this is really, really great to hear. When the rumours about Brennan taking over as DM started to surface, I was a little bit worried we wouldn't get any Matt, but seeing him come in as a player for Campaign 4 is going to be great. Now, alongside DMing Critical Role's Campaign 4, Brennan will still be involved in Dimension 20, Dropout and many other projects. Fair play to him. Really, really fair play. I do not know how he has the time to do all this, but that is amazing. Now, Brennan taking Matt's spot isn't the only bit of information we have for Campaign 4. We also know that this new campaign will not be taking place in Exandria like the previous 3, but will be set in its own world with a complete new story. And I think a new world makes a lot of sense for this campaign. If Matt's taking a break now, then yeah, let Exandria take a break as well. Let the dust of Campaign 3 settle. And we do know that we will see Exandria again. In an interview, Travis said that Exandria will be just taking a breather like Matt when it comes to DMing, and Matt did take to Instagram to confirm that we would see Exandria again. I imagine if Matt decides to return to the Dungeon Master role again for Campaign 5, or maybe a little mini-series or a one-shot, he'll probably run his games in Exandria, so it's not gone, it's just having a rest. But unfortunately, that's all we know at the moment. We don't know if Campaign 4 is going to be run with Daggerheart or Dungeons & Dragons. But if I was a betting man, I'd say it's going to be Daggerheart. Daggerheart is designed for long-term campaigns, and if you're going to tell a brand new story in a brand new world with a new GM, you might as well do it with a new system as well. If you're going to take a couple of risks, you might as well take a lot. Now, with the announcement of Campaign 4, there was a little bit of a hint that could indicate it's going to be Daggerheart and not Dungeons & Dragons. When the teaser showed off it would be a new story and a new world, it also said a new Game Master, not a new Dungeon Master. That might not be anything, but it might be something. Now, one other bit of info I want to draw our attention to is Matt as a player. And this is really interesting for a number of reasons. One, it'll be really, really great to see Matt as a player. We've seen him be a player before in either one-shots or short campaigns, but to see him have a full character that he's going to get to develop and grow over several years is going to be great. I really liked Dariax, but I've got the feeling he was a bit of a joke character, there for a good time, not a long time. So I'm really interested to see what Matt can do with a full character. To take all the work that he'd put into the Briarwoods or Vecna and put it into an actual player character is going to be really, really cool. The second point to mention is that Matt said he would be joining a cast of both familiar and new faces, and that is really interesting. Because it does raise a very big question. Will all of the cast be there? How much of a shake-up from the norm is Campaign 4 going to be? With Campaign 3, we had 8 players, including Robbie. And the table was always looking a little bit full. So with Matt joining the table and possibly new faces, it's going to be very cramped, obviously, if everyone is staying around. If you saw my video about Thresher, I thought that Thresher was a test by Critical Role, to see how one of their shows could work where none of the main cast were present. And I thought Campaign 4 would actually push that a little bit further. We got to see how a small show, a small mini campaign worked where none of the main cast were involved, and now we'll have a main campaign where they're starting to shake things up, and maybe we won't see all of the main cast. The cast stepping away from on-camera roles was hinted several years ago. Back in 2021, Matt was interviewed by Philip DeFranco, and he talked about him and the other cast members stepping away from on-camera roles with Critical Role. Still being involved in the community, still being involved in other projects and behind the scenes, but not being the on-screen talent.
You know, that kind of a thing.
So for you, is this how long you want to do this?
To a degree, always. At the pace that we're going now, I will ignite in a number of years. I will just be a pile of ash in a pair of sweatpants, and so for me, I will to a degree always be doing this. I love it too much. But also there eventually needs to be a torch to pass. You know, I think I look forward to a day where we take our home game back privately. You know, the cameras are great and sharing it is great, but there also is something about kind of dovetailing it back into having it just us, and maybe, still being involved in things, still doing, small form shows on the channel, but also allow an opportunity for a new generation to come in and kind of carry it. If we are lucky enough to have it go that long.
I thought Thresher was a test for that, and now Campaign 4 is maybe a bigger test. Maybe most of the cast is still there, but maybe a few people are gone. And this makes a lot of sense as Critical Role is starting to expand a lot further, both into TV and video games. We know through the Variety interviews that they're working on multiple TV projects, not just the animated shows, and they're working on their first game at the moment with Ad Hoc. So possibly the rest of the cast is just needed elsewhere, both in and out of the company. So could we see some of the cast stepping away from Campaign 4 and having new people take their places? I think it's a possibility. As for who would step away, I don't really know. Travis, Sam and Marisha do have the biggest responsibilities, I think, outside of the actual campaigns, so letting them walk away and work on other projects would make a lot of sense. I'd be really surprised if Laura, Ashley or Liam walked away, but I'm not really sure why I'd be surprised. They just seem like the ones who are least likely to leave. As for Taliesin, he always seems like a wild card. He could go either way, but I do think it's unlikely he'll walk away as well. And when it comes to Robbie, we don't really know if he's a permanent member of Critical Role at the moment. He's a bit 50-50, so can't really get a good judgment. And as for who could replace him if they do walk away, it could be anyone. Completely new people or former guests from previous campaigns and Woodshots could step in, we don't really know. Now, while that is my main idea of what Matt meant, I do have two other ideas. One idea is that this campaign is going to be a West Marches style campaign. In simple terms, a West Marches game is where you have a large group of players who all play in the same campaign together, but they don't play all the sessions together. In a real world setting, you'd be running the game and you just send out a message to say, hey, we're playing this Saturday, who wants to get in? There's 5 spots available. And the first 5 who say they're in, and then the next time you send a message out saying, hey, we're going to play this Saturday, who's in? Those 5 take a break and 5 other people walk in. That's it in very basic, simple terms, so maybe they're going to do something like that. Maybe Brennan is the GM, but there's, let's say, 10 or 15 players. And then every couple of episodes is a mini adventure that they're going on, but all these 10 to 15 players are actually part of a big group, and all the little adventures they're going on are kind of interconnected with each other. Honestly though, I don't think that's going to happen. I think that's a bit too awkward for an actual play show, but the idea popped into my head, so I felt like I had to say it. The final thought I could come up with is that all of the players are still going to be there, still going to be the same people, and just when Matt said new faces, he meant guest players. Maybe with this campaign, they just got a better idea of who they're going to bring on as guest players throughout the series, and when Matt talks about new faces, he's just referring to them. That's a possibility, I think, as well. It would just be a bit weird for Matt to say it like that. Honestly, once again, if I was a betting man, I think we're going to see the cast shake things up a little bit and see a lot of new faces alongside a few of the older ones as well. But that's all we really know for Critical Role Campaign 4. It's all of my ideas for it as well. Thankfully, however, we don't have to wait too much longer. Campaign 4 of Critical Role is going to air on the 2nd of October, so we've only got about 2 months or so before we get all of those answers. But I'm sure we'll get more information before then as well. But do let me know your thoughts down in the comments below. What do you think about that new faces comment? Was Matt just referring to guest players? Are things going to be shaken up? What do you guys think? Also, if you like this video, give it a like, because that's greatly appreciated as it does help the channel grow. You can also check me out on TikTok, Twitter, and Medium. And of course, do subscribe to this channel here so you can stay up to date on all of my content going forward, which will include news on Campaign 4 of Critical Role. But with that, thanks for watching.